Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we take big, complex topics and break them down so they're crystal clear.
All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're talking about a huge step up in automated trading. We're going to explore how you can take a basic bot that just blindly follows signals and turn it into a truly intelligent strategy, one that can think, one that can filter, and maybe most importantly, one that knows when to just sit on its hands and do nothing.
So how do you do it? I mean, it's a great question. You can easily start with an indicator that just puts little buy and sell arrows on a chart. But here's the thing, if you just tell a bot to trade every single one of those signals, well, you're probably headed for disaster. It's kind of like trying to drive a car with only a gas pedal and no brakes.
And that brings us to the most crucial point right here. You've got to understand the difference. A raw signal, that's just a trigger. It's just a single event in a vacuum. A real strategy, though, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a disciplined system that has rules and, context.
This right here really gets to the heart of it. A raw signal is totally impulsive. It's noisy. Why? Because it has no idea what the broader market is doing. Is it trending hard or just bouncing around in a range? It doesn't know. A smart strategy, on the other hand, is filtered. It's disciplined. It is context-aware, and that context is absolutely everything. And we build that awareness using filters. They basically become the brains of the whole operation.
So, how do we give our strategy those brains? Well, we can start by adding two really critical filters. These come from instructor Pablo Maglio, and they're designed to answer two super simple but absolutely vital questions about what the market is doing right now. First up, we've got the trend filter. Think of this as your strategy's compass. Its job is to check the market's overall direction, usually by looking at the slope of something like a moving average. And the rule is simple. If the market is clearly heading down, we have no business taking long positions. This filter literally keeps you from trying to swim against the current.
And next, we have the volatility filter. This one is like a reality check. It measures the energy in the market, often by looking at how wide or narrow the Bollinger Bands are. See, if the market is super quiet and those bands are squeezed tight, any breakout signals you get are often just fakes. So this filter tells the strategy, hey, let's just wait for a more energetic market before we jump in.
Okay, so how do we actually put these filters into practice? For a lot of people, the journey starts with a visual tool. If you're using NinjaTrader, this tool is called the Builder, and it's really the perfect place to start laying down the basic framework for your strategy.
Just think of the Builder as kind of like a point-and-click adventure for building strategies. You can literally drag and drop your logic, connect your indicators, set up those first filter conditions, and you can do all of it without writing a single line of code. It's a fantastic way to get your ideas off the napkin and into a system fast.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, this visual simplicity comes at a price. As your strategy starts to get a little more sophisticated, you will very quickly run smack into a wall. It's a critical limitation that holds you back from building something that's truly flexible and powerful.
And here is the exact problem. When we're setting up our trend filter, right, we need to tell it how many bars to look back on to figure out the slope. Is it 5 bars, 10, maybe 20? That's a number you definitely want to test and adjust. But the Builder, nope. It doesn't let you link that number to a setting the user can control. It has to be a fixed, hard-coded number. As Pablo Maglio puts it so clearly, you're just stuck. If you hard-code the number 11, for instance, the only way a user could test the number 12 would be to go all the way back into the Builder and completely rebuild that piece of the logic. It's just incredibly rigid.
And this, right here, is the perfect illustration of why, to really level up, you have to move past the visual tools and, well, get your hands dirty with the code. By converting that Builder strategy into NinjaScript, you unlock its true potential. And this is the payoff. That hard-coded 11 gets replaced by a dynamic input parameter, a variable we can call something descriptive like filter slope length. And just like that, the user now has a simple dial they can turn in the strategy settings. They can tweak that value without ever having to look at the code. It's like going from an automatic transmission to a manual. You get so much more precision and control.
So once we're in the code, the possibilities just explode. We can add all kinds of powerful features that were just impossible in the Builder, like a super simple on-off switch for our entire filtering system.
You know, the logic behind this is actually surprisingly clever. All you do is give the user a simple checkbox. In programming, that's called a Boolean. It's just true or false.
Then, in your code, you write a logical OR statement. The strategy asks a really simple question. Is the filter enable checkbox unchecked, or are the actual slope conditions met? See? If that box is unchecked, the whole thing becomes true, and the filter is just ignored. It's a beautifully simple way to give the user a toggle for a whole set of complex rules.
And this is the real power of making that jump to code. You get total command. You can replace every single fixed number with a setting that the user can control. You can turn entire blocks of logic on and off with just a single click. You can even add more advanced rules, like telling the strategy, hey, only take the first long signal, not 5 in a row. You end up building a system that's truly modular, flexible, and honestly, just plain smarter.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, by graduating from a visual builder to working directly with code, you transform a rigid, impulsive bot into a dynamic, adaptable trading partner. But, once you achieve that level of intelligence and flexibility, it naturally makes you ask, what's next? What's beyond this?
The next level is all about precision. It's about refining your execution with more advanced order types and implementing even finer controls, like trade counters. It's this continuous journey from a raw signal to a truly intelligent strategy, and it leaves you with a final thought. At what point does a strategy become so smart it's not just executing your ideas anymore, but it starts having ideas of its own?